Hello, this is Peter Kwon, and the product manager of Orange Industrial Products. Today I'm going to introduce our new generation industrial Ethernet switch, the 9000 product family. Below list out the model types of Orange Ethernet switch. We have a layer 2 rack mount and layer 3 rack mount or layer 2, layer 3 DIN rail, and also compact size and PoE Ethernet switch. Also, we provide fiber path Ethernet switch. As well, we have the IEC62439 DIN rail managed Ethernet switch passing the certification of power utility. Okay, this page below shows all the software functions and certifications that Orange has passed on our Ethernet switch. The first is a layer 3 routing function. We support RIP version 2 and VRRP, and also the non-standard STP or MRP or non-standard O-ring, O-chain, and W-chain will be introduced later. And also we have PTP precision time protocol and supporting the energy efficient protocol to save power consumption, and also mobile TCP and ProfitNet is our new features which supports the mobile TCP and ProfitNet protocols for configuration and monitoring. Also for the certification, we have passed railway, marine, and power utility, and oil and C1D2 for oil and gas. There is also backup function using just one simple and single configuration backup unit. Also, we support low voltage and high voltage power input. We have also provided 10 gigabit interface SFP connectors. Okay, this page is the Orange's new feature of the RIM protocol. MRP is the media redundancy protocol, and this is the standard protocol which Orange Ethernet switch is now supporting. So now Orange Ethernet switch can be connected to Hirschman, Siemens, Phoenix Contact, their Ethernet switch or their Ethernet-based PLC to form a redundant ring. A comparison table of different redundancy protocol. So as you can see, O-ring's proprietary protocol, O-ring and Open Ring or O-chain, is much faster than the standard STP and RSTP, as well as MSTP. W-chain is our new technology and unique redundancy protocol. In the past, in order to form a redundancy ring, all devices in this structure has to be using wired connections. But with W-chain, the new technology which Orange invented, we can put wireless APs in between different switches and still works as a redundancy ring. W-chain, this is a more complicated structure of a W-chain. So as you can see here, in the center, there still can be using the O-ring type redundancy ring using wired connections. But however, for the chain type, the customer can use the wireless devices or wired devices, depends on their selections. The PTP precision time protocol is pretty much like NTP but more precise, and the application of this PTP protocol is a lot of times to be used in automation, synchronized control, or some other applications of real-time simulation. And now Orange Ethernet switch supports this function to provide a more precise time synchronization and faster synchronization of devices connected to Orange Ethernet switch. Mobile TCP is a very commonly used communication protocol in industrial field. With implementation of this mobile TCP protocol, Orange Ethernet switch can be configured or to be monitored or controlled by any SCADA systems on the Ethernet and have mobile TCP protocol supported. Profinet is another industrial protocol which is also very commonly used. With the implementation of this protocol, Orange Ethernet switch can now act as an I/O device to provide Profinet management connection to any I/O devices connected after the Orange Ethernet switch. As well, when the I/O devices behind Orange Ethernet switch has any detection of alarms, and Orange Ethernet switch can also bypass this alarm or diagnostic message back to the controller for further monitoring and analyzing. For configuration backup units, most of the Orange 9000 series Ethernet switch has supported the backup function with the use of a console port. It is very easy to do the system configuration backup or restoration without using the web configuration page. And now we have supported different types of connectors used for different types of Ethernet switch. For example, we have RJ45, DP9, and 12 connectors for different types of different Ethernet switches. There is also LED indicators displaying the status of the backup and restore status. RGSP R9000 is a modularized rack mount managed Ethernet switch which supports layer 3 functions. The routing protocol supported is RIP version 2 and VRRP. The certification supported is IEC62439 the power utility, and also 50155 compliant for the rolling stock, the railway application. And also the working temperature is from -40 to 85, the white temperature supported. The point of this modularized managed switch is this model has totally 4 different slots to be inserted with different models, different Ethernet modules, depends on customer's requirement. There are totally 4 slots to be inserted for the Ethernet ports and 2 power modules, 2 power supply slots to be inserted with different power modules. Slot 1 to slot 3 can be inserted maximum up to 8 Ethernet ports and totally 24 gigabit ports. And the slot 4 can be inserted with 4 10 gigabit SFP fiber port. The 2 power modules supports low voltage and high voltage, and also AC/DC power selectable. This page displays all available modules of different slots. From slot 1 to slot 3 is a group, and slot 4 is another group, and also the power modules of low voltage and high voltage. Industrial layer 2 rack mount managed Ethernet switch. Orange has 4 new models supporting layer 2 rack mount Ethernet switch. 2 of the models has PoE function and support up to 30 watt power output. The Ethernet port supported is totally 22 copper ports and 2 combo port and 2 SFP port. There is also enhanced model supported, providing 2 DC input and 1 AC power input for the redundancy purpose. And in the PoE models, there is also P model and LP model, providing different value of power supply. Orange has 4 new models of layer 3 rack mount Ethernet switch, and 2 of them also supports the PoE model and support up to 30 watt of power output. The Ethernet ports supported here is 24 giga copper and 4 10 gigabit SFP fiber port. Arena has 6 industrial layer 2 DIN rail managed Ethernet switch. One of the model supports a PoE function and also support up to 30 watt power output. And the Ethernet port supported, the maximum Ethernet port supported is 24 ports, and the maximum 12 fiber ports supported. And this model and this series has passed the certification of 50155 of rolling stock, and also 60945 the marine certification, and C1D2, which is oil and gas explosion protection. Orange now has 3 new models of DIN rail layer 3 managed Ethernet switch, and one of them has supported the PoE function up to 30 watt power output, and the other 2 has up to 8 ports of Ethernet ports and 4 SFP ports. The routing protocols also supported here is RIP version 1 and version 2, and also VRRP. Certification passed here is rolling stock, marine, and C1D2. The IEC62439 DIN rail managed Ethernet switch. It's also we have 4 models of passing this power utility certification. One of the model supports the PoE function and up to 30 watt power output. Also, we have low voltage and high voltage models varies from 20 to 72 volt DC or 100 to 240 volt AC. Another models of IEC61850 certification. We have 3000 series, which is the non-gigabit Ethernet switch, and also supports the high voltage and low voltage. We have also provided DIN rail and rack mount Ethernet switch type. And there's one media converter supporting the IEC61850, also providing high voltage and low voltage options. Compact size of Ethernet switch. In this page, it shows we have displayed 4 new models of Orange compact size Ethernet switch. The Ethernet port supported is the 8 ports or 8 ports of copper ports, or 4 copper ports and 2 SFP ports. There's also entry level of Ethernet switch to be selected and to be chosen in this series with the MP model name without the PTP function supported. This page displays the models of Orange Ethernet switch which supports the PoE functions. We have 1000 series and 2000 series, 3000 and 9000 series. Also, we have injector and splitter Ethernet switch supporting the PoE function. INJ102GT++24V is an injector providing PoE function. This model is now able to support up to 90 watts of power output at 24 volt DC. And this is using the proprietary protocol of LTPoE++. With the standard protocol of 0.380 or 0.3 AF, the injector can provide 15 watt and 30 watt power output. This diagram shows the advantage of the INJ102 injector. As you can see, this model can be used to combine the DC power input and the data to form one single output in the PoE port. And there are totally 2 PoE output ports supported in this model, and the 2 PoE ports can support up to totally 90 watt of our power output. SPL101 GT++ is a splitter of to be used in the opposite side of the injector. So for this model, it's fully compliant with the 0.380 standard of 30 watt power input, and also has the power isolation on the PoE port. The advantage of this model is that to split the power and data received from the PoE port into one power output and one data output. And this model can also support totally 90 watt of power supply for further use of high power consumption devices. Orin's industrial fiber bypass Ethernet switch is now supporting fiber bypass function during any power failure or connection lost. And also this model has supported 2 power modules for any possibility of power redundancy. The fiber bypass switching time is less than 10 milliseconds. DGS-9812 model is actually a combination of IGS-9812GP plus 2 power modules and 1 fiber bypass module to have both functions. And also the IGS-9084GP-FB2 is a model of a combination to be combined of IGS-9084GP plus the fiber bypass module. The 2 modules are the only 2 modules which Orin is now having the fiber bypass function. As you can see from the diagram, the software ring redundancy protection can only protect the single point power failure or connection failure. So in the diagram, the operation is now running well. However, once one of the Ethernet switches is down due to power fail, because of a software function of redundancy, the operation is still running well. However, if there's another power failure on the Ethernet switch, the software redundancy ring is not able to keep the structure running well. However, if we have the fiber bypass function, the whole structure can still be operating with no problem because of the hardware relay switching. The rolling stock over the railway certification Ethernet switch is beginning with the T stands for the railway switch function, and we have 4 models, two of the models supporting the PoE function, and this is also the Ethernet bypass function with the BP2 stands for bypass function. And for the railway application, we have also provided the PoE function as an option. And as you can see for the Ethernet bypass function, during the normal operation, everything is running well. However, if, as you can see from the second diagram below here, if there is any power failure or port lost in the middle, there is still hardware relay switching to keep the whole line of a switch is running well. This Orin's Ethernet switch can also provide dual bypass function. As you can see from the above diagram, Orin's Ethernet switch now supports the port trunk to allow the customer bind the bandwidth of 2 Ethernet ports. Once there's a power failure or port lost in the middle, the hardware relay switch can still work on the dual ports, and to keep the whole structure and the whole operation running well. We have now some new Ethernet switch supporting the rolling stack application, and which have now 8 couple ports and supporting the PoE functions of 1000 series and also the 3000 series. The 1000 series is the unmanaged switch, and the 3000 series is the managed Ethernet switch. Also, we have middle voltage and low voltage supported. This page shows the C1D2 and 8X, the certification which Orange Ethernet switch has been passed. And we have 1000 series passed the C1D2 for the American and the 8X for the Europe standard, and also 3000 series passing the certification. For Orange 9000 series, it will be passed in Q2 or Q3 of 2014. This is the certification of what we have received from the UL for American standard. And this is the 8X certificate received, showing that Orange Ethernet switch has passed the test and passed the certification for Europe standard. And this one is the IEC62439 test report, and for the international explosion protection. The vertical market of Orange industrial products, we have because we have passed the rolling stock and also the marine and power utility and C1D2, we can Orange Ethernet switch can be applied in or can be used in various different applications such as factory automation or ITS application or IP surveillance, or maybe in the water treatment or rolling stock application. The certification we have passed here is UL 508 or C1D2 8X IEC6, and also the power utility of IEC61850 and the railway, and also the marine certification.